Veteran reggae artist Bear Salmon, he recently shared that post on social media. Many are looking at it as a response to this statement. Bear Salmon, the great Bear Salmon, can only pull 600 to 1,000 people at a venue in Europe. Conversation was about top reggae artists such as Buju Banton. And yes, the promoter did specifically point fingers at Buju Banton, stating that all of these reggae artists want to charge this big money to perform, but cannot pull the crowd. And that is how he mentioned Bear Salmon, stating that Bears are one of them who want to charge big money, but can only pull 600 to 1,000 people. So with that, promoters refuse to put them over in Europe, which in result kill reggae over in Europe.
He pretends to get paid, 20,000 per night, and it's impossible in Europe. And Bear Salmon, same. He wants to come to Europe. He wants to come with 19 people touring, and he's asking for crazy fees.
Bear Salmon, with nothing said, simply shared this clip. Talking about entertainers charging a lot for bookings. It's been said that since the revelation about Vybz Kartel charging 1.5 million USD per show, a lot of entertainers now feel away. Many now consider charging the same amount as that of Vybz Kartel.
So the entire industry is in shock to hear and learn that Vybz Kartel was paid over $1 million for a show. Most of us have never heard of any one artist getting this kind of money, for a couple of reasons. One, shows we are going to pull 20, 25, 30,000 people usually need a whole heap of artists to pull that kind of crowd. Think about a Sting or Sumfest. You need a whole heap of artists to pull a big crowd. Business is a numbers game, full stop. If your numbers work, it work. That's it. We don't need to question nothing else. Vybz Kartel can demand whatever money you want in music. Why? We will make it back. That is why promoters are paying him this kind of money. So right now, where it's thinking at the street, enough artists I say, boy, them can't believe them artists are get them big money and them never see them kind of money. The reality is, who will be paid according to your pulling power? That's it. So if you alone as an artist can pull 25,000 people, 20,000 people, you alone, you cannot even think about them kind of figures here. Unfortunately, I just saw it work because it's not going to be feasible. For a promoter to pay Vybz Kartel $1 million with an average ticket sale of $40, he will need to pull 25,000 people just to pay him. Not to book the venue, not to promote the show, not to hire the 500 or how much thousand people he need to man the venue, security, people to say everything else that come along with that promotion. We not talk about paying them people hotel, flights, first class flights, suites at the hotel, per diem for how much. We not talk about none of them stuff. We talk about just to pay the artist. Yeah, look on 25,000 people. And you have to remember the promoter still look on getting a benefit out of this. So as an artist, you can demand whatever you want. But if the promoter was to give you this money, will the numbers make sense? Will they leave out of that situation in profit? Because if they not gonna leave out of that situation in profit, not gonna work. So with that being said, me know all our things that we worth this and we worth that. Your worth is not determined by you. Your worth and your value is determined by the market. Big up yourself.
Still, the entertainment feed community will go on. We're here once more on the Tuesday of Vybz Tuesdays. Here once again with the ENT News, the topics, the updates. That said, let us get to the topics. So Nation, only a few days ago, Nationwide gave an update on dancehall artist Squash, stating that federal prosecutors now take charge of Squash case. Now just a few hours ago, we got an update on that. US feds target Squash as the leader of a transnational gang.
Federal officials in the United States appear to have Squash in a difficult position. The artist was arrested on February 24 this year during a traffic stop in Miami. He was hit with gun-related charges after a modified Glock pistol was found in the passenger side of the glove compartment in the vehicle he was traveling in. Squash pleaded not guilty to illegal possession of a modified weapon and possession of a concealed weapon without a permit. On May 15, federal prosecutors sealed a criminal complaint against Squash. Weeks later, on May 27, the Six Boss was given a trial date in Miami after attorneys had filed 24 motions on notices. That's when the feds swooped in, telling the judge in Miami of their intention to take over the case. The feds say Squash is known to law enforcement as an active member and leader of a transnational criminal organization that engages in various forms of criminal activity. They say the file on him dates back to 2017, when he was issued a tourist visa to enter the United States. Squash entered the US on May 8, 2019, and left 2 days later. According to the court documents, his first run-in with the law in the US occurred in 2023. At the time, Squash and two others were pulled over by officials from the Broward Sheriff's Office. During the traffic stop, it was discovered Squash had entered the US illegally on January 20, 2021, without being inspected at any checkpoint. The authorities were told by an informant that Squash had entered the US illegally via the border. Apparently, Squash, the so-called leader of the G-City gang, fled Jamaica after the gang became embroiled in a deadly feud with a rival gang. The feds say that conflict began in St. James and spilled onto the streets of Florida. Squash was handed over to Immigration and Customs Enforcement, ICE, where he was detained for nearly 2 months awaiting removal proceedings. The removal proceedings remain pending, but Squash was released on bond after he and an American citizen got married while he was in detention. The feds say that same woman is the one who bought one of the guns that Squash was held with after a traffic stop in late February this year. The FBI say they have probable cause for Squash to be charged with being an illegal alien in possession of a firearm and unlawful possession of a machine gun. Both the charges carry maximum sentences of 10 years in prison, which could be extended to a mandatory minimum of 15 years in prison if there are 3 prior convictions. There is also the strong possibility of deportation if convicted. For the time being, Squash remains a guest of the Federal Bureau of Prisons at the Miami Detention Center. Come September 2, USA versus Whitaker gets underway in the Southern District of Florida. If Squash wants to avoid going to trial, he has until August 26 to enter a plea agreement with the government.
Now, nation, speaking someone who is very familiar with the law, it would take a miracle for Squash to beat this case. Squash can face sentences from 5 up to 15 years plus. If found guilty, he can take the plea deal, avoid this going to trial, and do from 5 to 7 years. Not just that, it's a strong possibility that he will be deported. According to the source, federal prosecutors take gun charge really serious, especially from someone who illegally entered their country. It don't look good for a dancehall artist Squash, even with the plea. Possibility of 15 years plus, along with deportation, or take the plea deal, get a lesser sentence, but also get deported after doing time. Nation, Squash have a decision to make. Many say more than likely Squash shall go take the plea. Still, nation, do share your thoughts on that. Moving on. Gaza fans, I know I love to point fingers at the person just bringing the reports and not the actual person who made the video or whatever I'm upset about. But this video I've started making rounds on social media. It's from the TikTok page Bigfoot Jamaica. It has been reshared several times on social media.
I'm walking it through the village, starving. Everybody that look like them see a legend. But me just here for the vibes, you see it?
Many comments and a lot of comments. I talk about who the person favor. Of course, me putting out a disclaimer to the Gaza fans. Basically, I give away who the people I'm talk say Bigfoot favor. I don't need to say a word, you can just read the comments. But for those people, many people in the comment section have said Bigfoot favor dancehall artist Vybz Kartel. The person who actually made the video even did another video stating that Bigfoot don't favor Vybz Kartel.
When I say me look like Cartel, me not really see it still. A 2 different legends them, you know. Gaza.
Nation, do share your thoughts on that. For now, you see what time o'clock, you see what time o'clock we are hurrying to get the car of here. And as usual, my people,
I'm walking it through the village, starving. Everybody that look like them see a legend. But me just here for the vibes, you see it?